from the Save 7 campaign. Alan, it's good to have you here on the program, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity.
Now, earlier this year, we did an interview focusing on Jenna Lowe, who started the Get Me to 21 campaign. She was also waiting for a lung transplant. Do you have an update on her story?
Yes. Well, she's had the lung transplant. She's in a very critical phase now. It happened last week, where she is basically waiting to start her recovery. There really isn't any more that I can say about Jenna, except that we're all praying for her.
Yeah.
And we want everybody to join us and wish her well, because I'm sure you can imagine how enormous an operation this is, to have both lungs replaced. She's a young woman, she's strong, she's incredibly bright, and I think she could become the great spokesperson for the organ donor campaign in South Africa. And we need it so terribly badly, because there is an absolute dire chronic shortage in South Africa of donors. And there are young people, as you mentioned, 4,300 people waiting at this moment.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine you're a young person, or you're even an older person, and you're waiting to see if you can get an organ, waiting to see whether you can have a chance to live or die. And we need people to sign up and become organ donors, and people to think of others and to feel what a wonderful contribution it would be if they would donate a kidney or their heart, or even their jawbone or skin has saved people who have suffered from irreparable burns, taking the skin from somebody who's passed away. And I think the important thing to understand is that two independent doctors who are not connected to the Organ Donation Foundation have to certify that a person is brain dead, but their vital organs can help keep people who are suffering alive to live full and productive and happy lives.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, you know, why take your organs into the ground? They're only going to disappear into the earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, when you can leave a living legacy. And one day, maybe the person you've left your organs to, maybe them, that person, or their children or grandchildren, will give a member of your family in the future one of their organs when they need it. So it's such a good thing to be doing, such a wonderful gesture and gift of life.
Indeed,
and to give the gift of life.
Alan, let me just interrupt you and just ask you just a couple of questions about it.
Please do.
In terms of the amount of organ donors that we have here in South Africa currently, do you have those figures? What are we looking at?
I do indeed. Let me just juxtapose that with the fact that America, 34% of the population is an organ donor. In England, it's 28. In Australia, it's 24. So in those societies, they have almost a third, in America, just more than a third of their population as organ donors. South Africa has 0.2%. In other words, multiply 0.2 by 5, and you've only got 1% if you multiply it by 5, which we haven't been able to do yet. We are on a campaign to grow the organ donor registration. And all you have to do is go to #Save7 on Facebook, or www.save7.co.za on your computer, and you can sign up. It's very easy. Or you can get hold of the Organ Donor Foundation through their website. So we're hoping and praying, going back to the beginning as you started, that Jenna will survive this tremendous operation, and that on the 28th of October 2015, when she turns 21, we're hoping to have the hugest party in the Cape Town Stadium, because her promise was that everybody who signs up as an organ donor is invited. Doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter how big, how small, how old, how young, you are invited to her party. And we're planning And we hope that we're given the opportunity that she pulls through and she is strong enough to be at her own 21st birthday
Excellent,
party.
excellent.
And wouldn't that be wonderful?
It
So
certainly would be.
hashtag Save 7.
Okay. All right. Hashtag
Yes,
Save
that's
7.
the entrance. Hashtag Save 7.
Who is able to, and very quickly, Alan, I know you're so passionate about this, but in the interest of time, let's keep it quite short.
So,
who qualifies to be an organ donor?
Indeed.
Who can donate their organs? Anybody?
Everybody who can, unless they have a disease. And you know that HIV positive people can also donate their organs, because there are HIV people living with HIV who need organs. So they even establishing that subsection of organ donors who are HIV positive, who can give their organs to people who in the future are HIV positive and need a kidney or a heart or a heart valve or whatever part of the body. And the final thing that I really want to say to people is, there is no point in taking your organs with you. Please take the trouble. It's something that one has to do. I meet people who I've spoken to, say, a couple of weeks before, and they said, I'm going to register. And I say, hey, Mike, a fellow I worked with making TV ads recently. Hey, Mike, have you registered? He said, no, you know, I really have to get down to it. And that's the point.
Yeah.
If you do it, it's like crossing the road. You look both ways first. Do it first.
All right.
Please.
Alan,
register as an organ donor. We need you desperately.
Alan, thank you so very, very much for talking to us. You can see a very impassioned plea from Alan Amber there. He's from the Save 7 Organ Donor Campaign. Just hashtag that, Save 7 Organ Donor Campaign. Search it. You'll be able to find everything you need to if you want to become an organ donor. All right. Let's quickly